So Esper's in charge today.
Yes, I'm in charge. Ash might be joining us halfway through.
It looks seems like no to me.
I saw that she had gotten out of her car on the highway and is taking her dog out. So
awesome.
She just said, I'm not going to make it. I had to do some driving dangerous, which I believe means dangerous driving, to get off the turnpike to find a way home. Driving dangerous seems like a 90s racing game of some sort.
Ooh, yeah.
A Road Rash knockoff?
Yeah.
No, it's an arcade cabinet.
Oh, yeah.
It's got like two wheels jutting out at angles and like 80s sci-fi bad future kind of thing, probably.
Nice.
I like that.
Possibly post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
All driving is dangerous in the post-apocalyptic sci-fi future of the 80s. I'm playing with tilt controls. This is episode 394 of Insert Credit Show, where we ask the finest minds in video games hard-hitting questions and then shut them up after 6 minutes with a horrible buzzer. I'm your guest host, A.C.R.O.N.Y.M, filling in for Alex Jaffe, and I'll have 2 eggs scrambled, bacon, hash browns with onions, rye toast, and coffee with cream and sugar, please, and thank you so much.
Oh boy, I know Brandon's not going to like this question, this prompt. Brandon's not an egg person, is my understanding. Sorry to spoil.
I'm just imagining we're at a diner more than anything.
Yeah. Oh, okay, diner food. Okay. I'm Frank Cifaldi, and I'll take the Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity.
Perfect.
I don't even know what's in it. I'm just going to say it. And if
I
you're out of that, I'll take
fruit.
moons over my hammy.
Even better.
I'm Brandon Sheffield, and I will have the begrudging water while I watch you all eat at a diner until it's allowed for me to leave.
That's not true. I've been to many a diner with you, and you order French fries.
I do order French fries. It's true. I'll have the French fries. I'll have French fries and possibly an orange juice, which is a terrible combination.
And returning to the show, we have friend of the show and Goblin correspondent, Merritt K.
Goblin correspondent. I like that.
Well, I just saw the t-shirt.
Oh, yeah. No, I am reporting live on Goblins, and I'm going to deck out with Brandon and get some Shahan Fool and black coffee. And
nice.
Yeah. I've been thinking about that for months. It was one of the best breakfasts I've ever had.
Hooray! Yeah, the A.C.R.O.N.M's coffee is a Ethiopian kind of lunch diner restaurant, but it's not a diner per se. But yeah, they have a food there called Shahan Fool, which it's like ground up beans and spices and a feta-like cheese and like chopped onions and jalapenos, and you eat it with fresh French bread, and it's very good. It's very good. It's tasty.
And if you're Merritt, you order it at a diner.
That's right.
Well, it's kind of a diner.
It's kind of a diner, yeah.
And
it's not that hard to make, I'll tell them. I mean, it's hard to make good, but
the Bay Area, or is this somewhere else?
This was in Oakland when Merritt was stuck here due to a plane mishap.
That'll do it.
But it was fortuitous. I got to have a great breakfast. We got to hang out. We played some arcade games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, it was a good time. We played through Metal Slug 2.
We did Elevator Action Returns.
Good stuff.
Love it. Well, we're going to get right into the questions this week because I do not have the banter capabilities of Alex Jaffe. So
nice.
I did come up with these questions mostly on my own, a little bit of help from Alex. With the reveal of Minecraft Steve, Ichiban Yakuza, and Hatsune Miku in the new Sonic Racing game, as well as the Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering set, I want to get everybody's take on when intercompany crossovers work versus when they're obnoxious.
Well, there was that weird time in like the mid 2000s when it felt like every Japanese company was crossing over, and that culminated in there was like Idea Factory plus Red Company plus something else, and it was just like it's like only extreme sickos even know who any of these companies are, let alone what any of the characters in their games. So that was very funny. But it felt like it was too much, but I don't know. I kind of liked it anyway, so it might be part of the problem here.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think this was like a genie's bottle that was opened at some point, and it was very exciting for a while. Like Smash Brothers was like, oh wow, can they do that? That's crazy. And then as more Smash games came out, and it was like Sonic is in Smash, like Snake is in Smash. That was like, actually just got a copy of Brawl the other day from an estate sale, and it was like revisiting that, like, oh my God, this was like earth shattering. And now it's like, I expect everything to be in everything. And
it feels
kind of
inevitable
like,
now.
Yeah, like I am on record as being a hater about this specifically. I got back into Magic last year, and then when I saw like of the next like year, half of the sets are just like Final Fantasy, Spider-Man, I was like, okay, I'm out. Like, I think it's to some extent antithetical to art to have everything be crossover. And I hate to use this word because it has become kind of meaningless, but slop. Like the Fortnitification of literally everything, and the platformification where everything is like a platform. Like Magic is now a platform for brands to like collaborate. And like, oh, Hank Hill's in Fortnite now. Like, okay. I don't know. I mean, it's fine.
That?
Like,
who wanted to be Hank Hill?
Yeah. Like, I would probably play as Hank Hill, but like kids have always like messed with, like toys from different lines and stuff. So whatever. I'm not saying it's like destroying kids' imagination, but like, I don't know. Does everything have to be everything? Can't something just be its own thing?
It just feels like brands tweeting at each other, It's like, what are we doing? This is gross. I think Smash Bros. I think I like when things go to their logical conclusion, and I feel like Smash Bros. Is the logical conclusion, and we're done now. They're like, you can't really take it anywhere from here other than just riffing on Smash Bros. I'll also say, like, I think we might be in at least a minority. I'm not sure, because I couldn't get through more than like 20 minutes, but I watched the first 20 or so minutes of whatever the Summer Games Fest presentation was with like Jeff Keighley on stage, and they showed this game, right? And then they showed like Minecraft. Like as soon as they showed Minecraft, the room exploded. Like this audible explosion of excitement. And it's like, really? For just painting Minecraft on this game? Like that's what gets you going? I feel very disconnected with whatever this is.
But it's the thing, I recognize this. I'm such a hater on this because it's one of those things where I'm like, this makes me better than people who like this.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm only sort of joking because like it is so much of just like, oh, it's him. It's the guy from the other thing. I recognize that.
It's the t-shirts that like just combine the two things.
Yeah. It's two things. It's Joker, Rick Sanchez.
It's frustrating to me because I understand why it happens, and I get why some people are excited about it. And I feel like the less you've seen that, the more exciting it is. And so us having seen a whole bunch of it, it's like hard to be excited about. But if it's your first experience of that crossover, then maybe it's cool and like it's fun to think about. I don't know, Kiryu talking to Guile for some reason. Like, I don't know, that's funny, but really limits creativity in a way. I feel if everything has to be in the universe of everything else, and everything is either non-canon or retconned, and it just becomes like a whole spider web of rationalizations instead of trying to tell a story. And I know most of these games aren't about really telling stories aside from the stories that players have, like experientially playing with other people. But I feel like it's fine for a battle royale or an MMO that is non-story based, or any of those big massive online games. But for narrative, I think it's quite limiting, and that's where it feels extra bad instead of just lazy.
Fortnite's fine. Fortnite makes sense. Fortnite is the like mashing action figures together thing. And I actually I can celebrate with people if it's maybe like a franchise that doesn't get used enough, or like it makes some logical sense. But I think that's what got me about the Minecraft thing. It's like, were you starving for Minecraft content?
Right.
Are you now relieved that Minecraft is back? Like, what is this cheer for?
It's weird how attached people get to literally characters you don't see in Minecraft unless you are outside a first-person perspective and also have no personality or interesting traits, but people love them.
Yeah.
So
this should have been a photorealistic Jack Black. It's my point.
That would have been a much better game. Moving on, what aspects from other forms of entertainment are worth bringing over to video games?
Things being cool.
Okay, we should try that. How would we bring cool things over to video games?
I was
maybe
I was
Minecraft characters.
Is that that's how I was? This is maybe tangential, but I was looking through a bunch of GIFs of PlayStation games because the fella who does that PlayStation GIF account on Blue Sky just drops like the month into the forums, and so you can just see them all at once, and it's pretty fun. And I was realizing that the PlayStation was where that was the era when video games started to become cool, kind of in quotes, outside of just video game nerds, because you had like I was watching like a BMX game and Tony Hawk and stuff, and just thinking about how I could really understand why other people started to get into it, because like other subcultures were being represented. It didn't look like it was for child babies, and it was also kind of about a real thing but fantastical. So it felt semi. It's like I could get good at skateboarding, and then I could smash through a building, which you couldn't. But
kickflip over a helicopter.
Yeah,
I mean, you know what a kickflip is, and you know what a helicopter is.
That's right. But I do kind of think that right now, like maybe that could only happen then, and now that it's happened, it can't happen again. But it feels like there's maybe something that we could cool it back up, and also get some more like real narrative vision back in the forefront, because I feel like all of our visionary narrative stuff is happening in the indie space and not in the AAA space. Those are just some random thoughts that I had at the end.
Esper, can I get a repeat of the literal question just to make sure that my quarter joke answer is legitimate?
Absolutely. What aspects from other forms of entertainment are worth bringing over to video games?
Okay, again, only quarter joke. Royalties. Royalties for people who make stuff.
I
think that'd be a really good idea. I mean, in my line of work, I talk to a lot of people who worked on games in the 80s, and it's crazy how many of them have like a house because the game they worked on was a hit, and they still live there. Like, that sounds neat. This is actually coming from a place of thinking about like, what does Hollywood do that I like that games don't? And what Hollywood can do is like successful people who were actors can go on to direct, right? Because they were a success. And going further than that, people who are old can make weird, interesting old people art. We don't have that in video games at all.
That's true.
We're never going to have a megalopolis in video games. That's not a thing.
What about in 30 years when Kojima's 90 something?
Well, he's our only one, I guess. But like all these old directors are still doing stuff because they made royalties.
Yeah, I think also it's you don't have enough people that made enough money in video games and then were able to stop working enough to get a secondary business such as a winery, vineyard, like Francis Ford Coppola, to where he could sell half his vineyard to make Megalopolis.
Right.
We don't
you
have.
can only get rich. You can't get rich as an artist in video games anymore. And I don't mean like art assets. I mean like creator of content. Yeah. And you can only get rich as the guy running the business. And that's very stupid.
It is stupid. And I can't even get rich doing that.
Boom.
I don't think I would drink John Romero wine. So
I don't want to be made anything by made his anything by drinking.
John Romero is going to get you drunk.
It'd be okay. Snoop Dogg's wine was way too sweet, though. I don't know if you tried that.
I have not, but I believe it. Yeah. He's a sweet guy, that Snoop.
That's right. Coppola's was okay.
In honor of Pride Month, we're going to be doing Pride Month questions all month long. So I would like to know, what are some simple things video game developers can do to really queer up their games? How do we market to those valuable and precious little queers like myself?
Why are you asking us?
Well, I figured two cis straight guys and Merritt are going to have the answers on all of this.
One thing that I learned amusingly without realizing it is short shorts help.
Yeah, you know what? I'm all in on that.
I put one of our characters in short shorts because I thought it was fun, and I got so many like queer icon responses about that, and I was like, oh, that wasn't my intention exactly, but good.
Easy to do.
Yeah, it reminded me of in Commando, Vernon Wells plays the baddie in that, and he's like wearing he's like a tubby man with a big mustache wearing chainmail and what almost looks like an astrological sign on a chain around his neck, and
the community really dug into that one.
Yeah, that's right. And the director in his commentary was like, "Now, people said to me that that he had a little bit of a gay vibe to him. I didn't see that. I just thought he was the most manly man." I mean, you could be a manly man and be gay, first of all, but second of all, that dude was wearing chainmail and going, "I'm gonna get you, John." Like, all right,
yeah,
I love it.
So that was my short shorts.
Zodiac necklaces, mustaches, chainmail.
Yeah, no, I think that's if you're in the 70s, 80s, that's what you do. But
okay.
now it's a little more short shorts. But it has been very interesting to me to see people immediately understand Demon School as being a queer coded persona or something like that. And it made me feel like I had to lean into that more because people were so desperate for it. But, you know, all the ladies were kissing other ladies already anyway, so it was fine.
It does seem like you should just be able to make gay Fire Emblem or gay, you know, whatever, and have a built-in audience. So I don't know why people don't do this.
Sorry, I just had like an extremely like 2005 webcomic thought, which is like, if you ask me, all Fire Emblems are gay.
But I had a 2005 romhacking.net like image in my head of like just a Fire Emblem ROM hack that just says like gay, but in like, you know, the like spiky circle,
absolutely.
like new, except it says gay, like gay Fire Emblem. Yeah.
Just slapped right on the box.
Yeah, and it's flashing. So it's palette cycling.
I feel like I had a lot of thoughts about this 10 years ago. And like I did talks and stuff on this, and I'm searching desperately for those thoughts. And it's like 404ing in my head. I don't know, like 10 years ago, there was like a big debate among 6 people, right? Of, is it interesting to just kind of put gay characters in games if you're not really thinking about like the mechanics in an interesting way or doing different things with that? And I don't know. It's like, it's probably some of both, right? Like I think at the time I was very much like, representation is not the be all end all. And now I don't know. The world is a very different place than it was 10 years ago. In many ways, it's worse. So
yeah, we've walked like, a lot of stuff back.
Yeah, like 10 years ago, it was very easy to be like, these companies are just being cynical about this, and not just games, but like anything. Like, they're just being cynical about pride and blah blah blah. And now it's like, I don't know. I think a lot of people are like grateful when anyone is literally doing anything at this point because it feels so hostile. But yeah, I mean,
also, any sort of representation whatsoever will piss off just the worst humans who exist.
Right. Yeah, people get very mad about that now, which is funny. I mean, it's bad when they take steps to, you know, express that anger in horrible ways, but it is funny that people get like furious about
a haircut or something.
The woke hair, the woke chin.
What I've noticed is that a lot of people in the queer community will, and we've done it on the show, even like claim characters, right? If they are especially like abstract enough where they are not something specific, you know, analogous to real human life, you know, that could even be as simple as skin color. You know, the argument that Marge Simpson is black, I think holds up. Not that that's queer, but that's, you know, a marginalized
representation issue. Yeah.
And so, you know, I think it's a really simple thing is like, why make your people look like people? Just make them something that anyone could self-insert themselves into, depending on the genre of game. Obviously, something super narrative, maybe you couldn't do that with, but I think it helps communities a lot if they can not necessarily even claim, but just like see themselves in a character by it not being white straight character.
Makes sense.
My answer is maybe representing queer characters just like having a good time is cool.
Yeah.
So that the story isn't always just about struggle necessarily, and also so there's potentially something to aspire to or hope that you or be like, I can't find this somewhere else, but here's queer people having a good time and hanging out and not having a big problem. Like that can't be the only thing, but there is value in having that, I believe.
Right. We need that, and then we also need $10 pride flag skins for your Call of Duty gun.
Mm-hmm,
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I've also heard that queer people sit in chairs funny. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, that's true. If we can get characters that just sort of sit on the top of the backs of chairs, that's a very common practice.
That's probably the good takeaway here.
What is that a reference to?
I don't know. It's just something I've seen people.
But that was, I feel like, a few years ago when people were like, oh, like gay people can't drive and they sit in chairs funny, and then these colors are gay, and it was just like, guys. I mean, like, I'm glad you're having fun, but sitting on chairs weird. That's a Riker thing, and a Death Note thing. I don't know, like, but yeah, just make up weird stereotypes, I guess.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Well, I have good news and bad news. The good news is we have gotten a free slot in this year's Summer Game Fest, which is a $300,000 value, mind you.
Wow.
The bad news is we have to turn in the trailer in the next 6 minutes. So let's get started on what that's going to be for a game that does not exist yet.
Okay, so
I think we should just give him Demon School.
Yeah, nice.
Can't do that.
Let's just help Brandon out.
No,
it's a game that doesn't exist. It has to be. So,
does it exist?
So,
damn! Wow, brutal.
It mostly does. 90% of it does. But I think we're doing a new announcement, right?
Announcing a new game that none of us have actually worked on, so we get to just make up whatever we want.
We need a like a slow intro over a post-apocalyptic wasteland, and it says war.
Okay.
Ooh. Wait, can we get like a downbeat rendition of like an 80s?
Yeah. So which one do we want to go with?
80s.
Or a 90s grunge or something.
Well, I was gonna go just like I haven't heard Hootie and the Blowfish.
Okay.
Hootie and the Blowfish,
somber Hootie song.
Version.
So we're getting Only Want to Be With You.
No, Let Her Cry.
Okay, Let Her Cry.
That's my only contribution to the 6 minutes. You guys have to come up with.
Is that the title of the game?
The title of the game is Let Her Cry.
I would love for a slow version of Pearl Jam's Jeremy.
Really just draw out that better.
That'd be the worst. Okay, anyway, one of those.
On the ball.
So we're post-apocalyptic. What are we thinking in terms of genre, in terms of gameplay? We're not going to show any of that, mind you, but we need to at least hint at it.
There's a pipe wrench.
Summer Game Fest, so I think it should be a shooter
with a pipe wrench.
There could be
first-person pipe wrencher.
Yeah. You shoot out of a pipe wrench.
You shoot smaller pipe wrenches out of the pipe wrench.
Yeah,
I think there should be hints at crafting your pipe wrench.
Okay.
By scavenging in the wastes.
You could even put in just text that flashes on screen over 1,000 craftable pipe wrenches.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
We don't need to uphold that promise. We can just say it.
Mm-hmm.
And when it doesn't just say 1,000, like the numbers are like spinning up, you know?
It goes from 0 up to.
Yeah.
And we should have like a moment that implies deep narrative, because there will be like a ponderous narration over this, talking about how like I was born to this, I was forged in it, and then it shows you like a binary question where it's like strangle this puppy and don't
don't strangle puppy.
Yeah.
After the death plate, we wandered the plains of Skiin and found nothing but the unbidden ones.
Yeah.
Oh man,
that's right.
And
they need a pipe wrenching.
This world needs a good pipe wrenching. The plumber.
That's right. They call me the plumber.
Okay, so this is a Mario game.
It's the Mario.
Finally, the one that fans have really
it's based
wanted.
on.
It's when Mario goes into the public domain.
you know all those like public domain Mickey games that came out? It's based on a severe misunderstanding of IP law. So it's like, oh, Mario's public domain now, right? Like, yeah. So let's make the dark, edgy Mario first-person post-apocalypse game. And then we find out like, oh, wait, oh, shit. I mean, Jeff still takes the money.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. But yeah, then afterwards he's like, yeah, so you guys
hopefully it offsets the legal cost of airing our trailer.
That is on him.
We just have to change the title at the end to like Mariont or something.
It's not. I don't think it's Let Her Cry anymore, which I'm okay with.
It's Let Her Pipe Wrench.
Are there any 90s songs about plumbing?
I feel like there's got to be a ska one. I don't know why I feel that.
I mean, there's Weird Al, the plumbing song, and we can just do that downbeat.
Perfect. With a very morose, somber tone to it.
Yeah.
Well, I have good news. We're already in the trailer roundup, and people are loving it. So we're going to take a break on that.
God, can you imagine if we got a game that was set in the first Mario movie?
I imagine it frequently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like people who are 30 or 40 years old would lose their minds.
People who really like Max Headroom.
It's like a cyberpunk looking game, but in the Dennis Hopper Mario verse.
Yeah, it's an immersive sim, open world.
I'd play it.
Absolutely. You get to play both Mario and Luigi on different missions.
You got your realistic dinosaur Yoshi.
Oh, yeah. That's your open world travel right there.
Yeah.
You hop on your Yoshi.
Yeah.
I need to play this now. Thanks. Welcome back to Insert Credit. We're going to dive into the question hole, as is what we do at this point in the show. You can become a patron at patreon.com/insertcredit at any level in order to submit questions to the question hole, which I might reach in and grab out, such as this one from patron Alex Jaffe, who asks, in 2025, who is each major console maker's target market?
Okay, so what have we got? I've been a little bit checked out. So, I mean, we've got Panasonic is in the mix.
Yeah.
Atari.
3DO.
Amico.
Amico, of course.
Television Amico.
The Phantom.
Is the Ouya still going? Are we still got that Ouya?
That's for
Ouya's
Linux
there.
gamers exclusively at this point.
Okay.
Casio Loopy.
The thriving market of Linux
Casio
gamers.
Loopy, of course. Huge, thriving market.
Sony ImageSoft.
NEC PC Engine 6.
Yep.
And who are these consoles marketed toward? I must know, simply, here in 2025.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just the three, right? Like, that is serious, though? Like, there's just three.
I believe that is the implication.
Well,
I think can we make an
fourth
argument that people are
VR.
targeting the Steam Deck is my question. I don't know.
No, I would say that
Okay.
Steam Deck is a like, I wouldn't say someone's targeting that first, but there are people that optimize for it. But that is not, I wouldn't say Steam Deck is like the direct target.
Got it. Okay, I'm in. And so you're saying just VR as a concept, we don't care which.
Yeah, I think VR as a concept is a
probably
target
any
and
but
platform.
the Sony one, I would say, right? Because the Sony one, as far as I can tell, Sony just shoveling money. But
I think they've stopped. But yes,
yeah,
but I think in general, with that one, you're going for the same group of people.
Okay,
people
in.
that will strap a thing to their head. So Xbox, their target seems to be, they're hoping that they can get everybody by having everything be an Xbox.
That's what I was going to say too. Their target is a theoretical future consumer. I don't think their target exists yet.
Yeah, and I think the way they're doing it is maybe not. It's a weird approach because they're pitching this thing for everyone to core gamers. Kind of is how it feels to me, and that's not who wants it. They need to be like advertising that in like cooking blogs or something, you know?
It's like the same thing that Stadia did, right? Which is like, oh, this should just be YouTube, but you play video games. But they were like, you can play Assassin's Creed. And it's like, oh, who's this for exactly?
If I'm playing Assassin's Creed, it's going to be on something made for Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, your phone on the subway. Google
Perfect.
Stadia.
Right.
Man, if Stadia had rolled out the thing where you could be watching a video of a game be streamed and then you could click on it and play yourself seamlessly, which they had a prototype of, that would have been cool. That would have been a thing. but they didn't ever got there.
But the point is that that's what Microsoft's trying to be, basically, right? It's like a better Stadia. Like everything's an Xbox, whatever, right? And again, I think that's an audience that they don't understand because it doesn't exist yet. I'll just say that I don't know that they're wrong. I think things could go that way, but I don't think they're there yet. I would say Nintendo is targeting people who like Nintendo games, which is a very large amount of people.
A lot of money there.
And then I think Sony's audience is people who are basically like that, but feel they're more mature than what Nintendo offers. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the breakdown. And then VR, I don't even know, man. I think it's just people who develop VR games make them for each other.
People who like VR chat.
There is a group of people, like 5 million people or something like that are willing to buy a VR game. So
they all make them.
It's like a targeted niche. Yeah, I think the Xbox versus Nintendo breakdown is kind of funny because Nintendo has done the best job of taking a game console and being like, this is for everyone, which was the Wii. And to a lesser extent, their handhelds, because they were like, this is for every child. Every child will have this. And Xbox has been a capital G gamer brand for so long that they need to do some real serious work if they want to push that into being something for everyone, because the perception of Xbox is very specific still.
Which they did, like the 360 era kind of built what the gamer is.
Yeah. So to me, it feels like maybe they should have started over if they wanted to do that, not have it be the Xbox. Because Nintendo Wii was like, it was the Wii that was by Nintendo. It wasn't like the Nintendo Wii. It
wasn't the new Nintendo. It was the Wii.
The Nintendo. It was the Wii. And you got Oprah talking about it and stuff. You're not going to get Oprah talking about no Xbox. Like, at least not in that way.
Like, you're telling me it's not like the old Xbox? Like, that's not a conversation that happened.
Yeah, it's like my nephew shot people and screamed slurs. That's the Xbox. Like, if you're one of those kinds of people. So they got enough hill battle, I would say, doing that. But I agree with the rest of the assessment. I think also PS5 is the other breakdown is Xbox. The current state of Xbox is if it's on Game Pass, then you will probably play it there. And otherwise, I feel that the like console gamer people, the people that are holding on to that, are PlayStation oriented. That's
seems
my
that way.
feeling. Yeah.
All right,
people
that's
that
time.
buy games are on PlayStation.
I'm going to just sneak in real quick. I think Xbox is the equivalent of the early days of streaming, where everyone thought the network play was slurp up as much content as possible. I think that's where Xbox is, and they haven't learned yet what all the streaming companies have, which is, people only watch the new stuff that we make exclusively.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of big shifts on the horizon for that one. This is a question I've been thinking about for a long time, specifically in regards to JRPGs. But it applies to all games. When do you need to play a game, and when is it okay to just watch a long play?
Oh, shoot.
That is a question I have been thinking about a lot lately because I'm writing a book right now about a game that I have played a lot of for the past 20 years. But it's based on, or it's sort of a spiritual successor to a series from the 80s and 90s, which I have not played, and they're all JRPGs. And those are kind of based arguably on wizardry. And I'm like, okay, do I need to play all of these? Can I just read about them?
Should we not know what this game is, or?
I mean, I guess I can say.
It's okay if you don't want to.
No, it's PSO.
Oh, sure.
So it's like, do I play all the Phantasy Star games?
And then do you? Absolutely not. I've played all the Phantasy Star games, including online, and they're just unrelated.
Yeah, no, they're unrelated. But I mean, it's just there's some threads that I want to pull at, and I don't know. I have and I have my lists of games that I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I'm going to make a note of this, and maybe one day I'll play it. Realistically, will I get to many of them? Probably not. But then I have gone through that list sometimes and been like, I'm just going to read about this and watch some clips and be like, okay, that's good enough. And maybe if I had encountered this at the time it came out, when I'd had tons of free time as a kid, I would have been obsessed with it and played it for hours and hours. But now it's like, oh, okay, this Game Boy RPG that came out in the 90s, it's kind of interesting, but I think I'm good.
Not 60 hours interesting.
I don't want to, interrogate you on the project or anything, but if, for example, you needed to describe playing something like a wizardry, which I don't think you do, but like you can't watch wizardry.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No,
like that's not.
That's
a thing.
why I'm. Yeah.
So there's almost like a. It almost depends on how modern it is or something, right? I think you could watch a wizardry if you're watching a like narrated Let's Play wizardry, right? Then you would kind of understand the mechanics. But if you're just watching a playthrough of, numbers moving around, like you're not really going to understand, the inherent, like, I've not played wizardry, I'm just making this up, but the inherent like moment to moment dread and fear of walking through these stupid catacombs that you can't, understand. And so I don't think it is. My initial reaction was like, just watch whatever you want. But like, okay, actually in your situation, you might need to describe the act of playing this game.
If you're writing about something, then I think that's different. Like if you're actually producing something about it.
Wizardry is a good example because until I played the Digital Eclipse re-release, I assumed that wizardry was random generated dungeons. Because it just felt like it would be. And I think also I had watched people play it and just not put together that they were learning that you have to learn a map. There's like several levels and there's a map and you learn it and then you get better at it and you can speed run it essentially. And so I think that in some cases, especially with older things, there's like experiential and UI related stuff that you can't necessarily intuit from watching a video, where like the key bindings could be really strange. And like learning that is half of learning how to play this video game. Or like, especially with early 3D stuff, or, getting away from Phantasy Star. But with early 3D things, if you play it on an emulator, someone might have improved it a lot. But at the time, it was like the up-down controls are backward, and because that's how someone thought it was good at that time. Those kinds of things are something. But how deep in the weeds do you need to really get? Also, but I understand the fear of not getting through it, because then it's like, am I going to be exposed as a fraud for not knowing about this minor? I don't know if that's what you're feeling, but that's what I would be feeling, because
not a true gamer unless
like, okay, I didn't play the Phantasy Star like micro games that were on the Sega Games can for the Sega CD.
I need to take back what I said, though. I did not play all the Phantasy Stars.
Yeah,
I did play Phantasy Star Gaiden, which is a Game Gear version of one of those, but I didn't play the weird Sega internet one.
Yeah. So yeah, it's. But I think for me, who's not writing a book, the simple answer is, when I've tried it and it's too hard, but I want to see the rest of it, that's when I will watch a Let's Play.
Well, I'll also just, I think there's a scale somewhere. Like I'm still playing Expedition 33 because I just don't play games as fast as most people, I guess. And for me, I don't think there would be a significant difference if I was watching someone playing that. Like maybe just the joy of like victory or whatever, right? But like, maybe I'd be more emotionally invested playing than watching. But I feel that watching a video of this game, you understand what the moment to moment feeling of the game is. I don't think that you get much more out of playing it, honestly.
This is probably a 30-minute question of what matters in terms of decision making in a medium about interesting decisions and these sorts of things. But that is well past time at this point.
Dang it.
So
I was going to talk about the ooze.
Sorry, we're going to have to ooze up next time.
We just posted concept art from the ooze
Yeah.
earlier this week at archive.gamehistory.org. Just search for ooze in there. It'd probably show up.
I saw
rapidly turning into the most popular game on Blue Sky.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I need to share really quick that was Craig Stitt, one of the artists who worked on it. And there's a guy who works at Digital Eclipse upstairs who also worked on the ooze. And I was like, did you work with that guy? And he's like, yeah, I haven't seen him in like 30 years. So I went up and grabbed him. And I had a Sega Technical Institute reunion in my office. It was very cute.
I've been wanting to talk to that guy in your office because I guess he worked on Chaka the Forever Man as well.
Oh, that sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah,
oh, wow.
and I have a lot of questions about Chaka the Forever Man, just in general.
No, I have frequently am thinking about it.
Yeah,
it's just like how did that happen?
So, have any of us even looked at the comic book, like ever?
No.
I'm aware they exist. And that's about it.
We need to do a Forever Man special.
An
pod.
all
Yeah, I was
forever
gonna say
mad
let's
episode.
get that guy on here, and
You have credits you can spend. Frank or Brandon, you could make us all play Chaka the Forever Man right now.
I would say that the person we're talking about was, engineer on the game, not creatively.
That's fine.
In charge,
But still, it was a small team.
Sure,
still kind of.
But you want the people who made the decisions who like read the comics and went, "Man, I thought that was great."
No, I mean, I want to talk to the engineer
IP.
too. Like, how come you that weird thing with the boss at the end? Like, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Like all that stuff.
Why is it so freaking hard?
Well, he's nice. Come talk to him.
All right, corralling things back in. This should be a quick and easy one to figure out based on a discussion that's being had in the forums. What is a 2.5D game?
Oh, God. Oh, God.
I've seen so many posts about this in the forums. Arguing, is Street Fighter 4 a 2.5D game?
How dare you bring that into the mix? I don't want to have to also think about that. I mean, it is kind of.
If I'm going off vibes, yes. I think it's just a vibes thing. Yeah. Vibes says that.
Because it's polygons, but you're on a fixed plane?
Yes.
That seems to be what a lot of people think it is.
That's wrong.
So I think 2.5D used to be sprites on a 3D background.
Now people are saying that's HD 2D.
Yeah, but that's...
Don't use their terms. That's a marketing term.
That is
invented
marketing.
by Square
You're correct.
Enix.
Well, isn't HD 2D just like a lot of pixels, not
It's
necessitating
2D sprites on a 3D background with a lot of lighting effects.
There's always 3D-ish backgrounds though on those frames.
Yeah, to me, like a 2.5D game. I mean, yeah, it's like, okay, is the distinction pixel art versus polygonal art? Because if that's the case, then that's easy. But for me, it always meant like a game like Klonoa, where you're like kind of going into like the perspective shifts
moving
a little.
in and out.
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I
that
think
does feel like half a dimension.
Yeah,
right. But then you get into like, is Guardian Heroes a 2.5D game because you can switch planes? You've got 3 planes that you can move in, and then it like maybe it is, but I'm not sure.
Well, then it's Power Rangers for the Super Nintendo 2.5D game because you can jump back and forth.
Yeah, or
is 2.5D a term worth using?
I mean, we're getting very much into is a hot dog a sandwich territory here.
Yeah,
sure, certainly.
Like people are dying, Kim.
There's like
so the answer is it doesn't
like,
matter.
There's like hair growing on my neck as I think about it.
Okay, but is that beard hair or is that chest hair? Is the question.
Ooh.
Yeah, is there a distinct like? Does it translate somewhere, or is there a gap?
Yeah. Where's the border?
In there? I think there are a lot of things that you can call 2.5D, and it is kind of a fun term to use and think about. But I also think it really like you can say it and people will understand it, but also you can say it and people will absolutely not
misconstrue what you're talking about.
Yeah, like Bloodborne. Sorry, not Bloodborne. Bloodstained. I guess that's 2.5D, but it's really just a 2D game with 3D graphics. And to me, that's not what 2.5D should be. It should be like partially in the third dimension, but technically that is. But the gameplay is not in the third dimension at all.
Right.
It's in the fifth. Yeah.
Dimension.
Yeah. I guess the question is 2.5D an aesthetic description or a mechanical descriptor?
It feels like it should have died with the Saturn.
Yeah. Is the Saturn the most 2.5D console?
It's a good question.
So. I don't know because we started talking about it the most in the 360 like XBLA era. So maybe yes,
Fair.
but we wouldn't have thought so.
Yeah.
I remember it was a Resogun on like a PS4 launch title that's just a ship moving around the cylinder shooter type thing. Is that 2.5D? Who cares?
Yeah.
There's the answer. You got it.
All right. Well, in the interest of time, let's move on to our lightning round here. We are going to play a game that we have not played for a while, but I think is a good one. We're going to play the A.C.R.O.N.Y.M game, where I am going to give you a series of letters, and you have to come up with a name for a game and design that game on the spot. First acronym is HFG.
Where I went was hidden field goal, but I don't know what that means.
So it's a hidden information football game.
Yeah, it's almost like you have to It's like you got to kick the ball into like a spot that you don't know what it is, something like that. It's almost like you don't know which thing gives you the highest bonus, something like that. I don't know.
I thought of something that is almost, it doesn't quite fit the title, but has me intrigued now. And it is one player randomly on the team. This is an online soccer game. One player randomly on the team is a ghost. Nobody can see them.
Hidden Field Ghost.
Yeah, Hidden Field Ghost. That's where I'm going with it.
YUR.
Okay.
You're under *rest.
You're under rest.
Yeah.
You're being held in a bed.
It's based on the anime.
Oh, okay, perfect.
You're under arrest. It's a licensed game.
Oh, wait, so is that the one where with the you know?
I know exactly what you mean.
When she does the thing? She goes,
Yeah.
My bad.
Like, oh, I killed 200 people.
Whoopsies.
I don't think so, because it was 90s.
I thought that was You're Under. Yeah, no, that's really old.
Is it?
Yeah, it just became popular like 5 years ago or whatever.
So in my mind, you are avoiding being arrested by just like bulbous, weird, maybe the Bonanza Bros. Right?
Okay.
Like you're avoiding being arrested by the Bonanza Bros. And they're just like waddling around going, "You're under arrest," and clearly you're not, because you don't even need to tilt the stick all the way to move faster than.
Good. TNM.
I was just trying to see when the You're Under Arrest anime came out, and have you seen there's an AI mode now button in Google that I just clicked accidentally?
Ew.
No.
That's terrifying.
What does that enable?
Boy.
Exactly.
Terrifying. It's kicking off searches, and it's showing me a bunch of it's basically trying to show me a Wikipedia page is what it's trying to do.
Sounds useful. TNM.
I have one, but I did the last two, so I'll withhold.
Yeah, Frank is really running the table on this one.
I'll do it if I need to.
Tsunami Monday is not what it is, but that's
all right. Fine. The New Mom.
The New Mom. It's about being a stepmom.
It's about surviving your
raising
new
a child.
It's one of those.
Okay.
It's one of those like horror
What
games
if your stepmom
on Steam
was an
that
evil
are
robot?
$2. Yeah.
Like we're doing a gender swapped Buffy episode.
Perfect.
I had three nice men.
Oh,
I like that.
That's nice.
Just doing good deeds.
Oh.
Just about it's like Final Fantasy 15, but there's only 3 of them and they're bros.
And there's no combat mechanics.
It sounds like a critically acclaimed like British game, like indie game that's going to come out in a year, and everyone's like, "Wow, 3 nice men." It's really great. It's like, we're so happy you're here or whatever that was called.
I was gonna say thanks for picking that up, Panic.
It's gonna have a neat art style, and everyone in the US is not gonna get it, and everyone in the UK is gonna be like, "Oh my god, my childhood is back."
They put cheeky blighters on there.
Yeah.
GNBC.
Good night, British Columbia.
Yeah. Oh, I was going for the exact same thing.
Incredible.
Oh my god. British Columbia is blanketed in an eternal night. And you have to discover the source while also surviving against the night horrors that roam the woods.
That's good.
With a pipe wrench.
The rest of Canada has put up like a containment field around BC.
And only people from there are going to get it. Kind of like the last game.
We're going to have so many references to cheeky blighters.
And I just to say, my first thought was good National Broadcasting Company.
Oh, okay. There you go. The sequel to NBC.
Yeah.
UGEW.
You Great Energy Werewolf.
Wow. I want to know what Energy Werewolf is about.
It's a Mega Drive game.
It's a Mega Drive.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, it would have worked a lot better with a Y because the U as a U is kind of too silly. Ultimate Great Energy Werewolf. How about that?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
That feels a lot more like a Flash game.
Yeah, it could still be.
No, it's a Mega Drive game.
It could still.
No,
be
I'm picturing there is a werewolf game where you're like a cyber werewolf. Wolfchild, yeah.
There's also Werewolf the Apocalypse on the NES. Kind of similar.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, seriously?
Werewolf the Apocalypse.
Wait,
that's
sorry,
right.
what?
Yeah, came with a comic book.
Was that recent or like?
No, it's from 91 or something.
What the fuck? Like the White Wolf game?
Am I Did I get the name wrong? Hang on. I thought
Like
it was Werewolf
is
the
it
Apocalypse.
in the Vampire
that's-
the Masquerade universe, I think is what's being asked here.
Oh, maybe I got
Yeah.
the... Oh,
Okay,
sorry.
no.
Sorry.
I was gonna
It was
say,
not
like,
Werewolf the Apocalypse.
If I hadn't
Sorry.
heard of that, that would be like
It's called
kinda,
Werewolf the Last Warrior.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
So it's
Sorry.
just like I felt like I did when I learned that there was a Vampire the Masquerade TV show on Fox.
I didn't know this.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that
it's
either.
called Kindred the something.
Wow.
Kindred the Embraced, because apparently Vampire the Masquerade was not a good enough name.
Not
But, yeah.
marketable.
C. Thomas Howell was in it. Didn't do
I just-
blackface in that one though, I don't think.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
You got it.
Oh man, the box for Werewolf the Last Warrior. He's like busting out of a cartridge. You see the chips behind.
Incredible.
I just want a little wolf child note is
Please.
interestingly the Genesis soundtrack is better than the Sega CD soundtrack. So give it a listen. See what you think. Let us know.
Let
in the
us
chat.
know in the chat what you
Also,
think.
check out the Master System version, which is just weirdly 16-bit looking. Like, oh, we could do that.
Man, the Master System was so cool. All those colors.
Moving on to 5-letter terms here.
Whoa.
LHPSC.
I mean, I have a really terrible one which is Lily has peed since Christmas.
I don't like it.
I had let's.
I
don't
got
like
recommended
it.
that on Steam the other day. I was just
had,
looking for demos.
Let's help Persephone score Coke. Was
Yeah. Yeah, Persephone's really out here.
she was fiending.
KDVRT.
No, we did. I don't think
Sorry.
we really got the last one.
You don't want to help Persephone score Coke, Brandon?
No, it's
It's self-explanatory.
She needs help.
She can't do it on her
Not
own.
that kind.
I hate to interrupt, but I have a very important wolf child update.
Please.
Which is that-
hang on,
Stop the music.
Hang
Let's
on.
go ahead.
This is never an interruption. I just want to clarify.
That which is that in 1992, for Ace magazine, someone reviewed the game Wolfchild, who
Like the Amiga version, probably.
yeah, whose name you might be familiar with, because it's Gary Whitta,
Oh, nice.
who wrote or worked on Rogue One and a whole bunch of other movies and stuff. But I just imagine him like 30 years ago, like, oh, Wolfchild, eh?
Working those
probably exactly
Wolfchild
what happened.
references into Rogue
Yeah.
One.
Yep. KDVRT.
KDVRT. You do have VR in there. That's an easy one if you
Kevin
want.
Durant,
Kevin Durant. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
versus
Kevin Durant. Ooh, okay.
I like this. Yeah.
This
is a
is
good
going in a
direction.
great direction.
Yeah.
What's it?
Who's
who-
RT? Rory Talhoun. That's not a
Rob
person.
Thomas of Matchbox 20.
Kevin Durant versus
In
Rob Thomas.
one-on-one basketball.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's not. No, it can't be. See,
No,
either there
that's
have to
one
be
event.
two sets of mini games where like each one plays to their strengths,
Right.
or it's like a
Yeah.
neutral ground where neither of
They're
them.
both golfing
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah. Or it could be
Okay.
Kevin Grant versus Rumiko Takahashi, and it's just
Okay.
Kevin Grant versus every character.
It just another game in the Kevin Durant versus series.
Yeah.
It's,
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah,
the
it-
20 title spanning.
Right.
It'd be like a Shaq Fu mashup sort of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
All right.
All right,
And
I did.
finally, our last one, GAMES.
Oh my goodness. I feel like this would be an acronym initialism for a movie.
Mm.
Like there's got to be something.
The,
Well,
the Department of GAMES.
yeah. Geese and moose.
Grandma always marries
Exceptional
everyone's
society.
sister.
Wow.
Struggles. That's too bad.
Always.
Yeah,
Always. She just can't stop marrying everyone's
Well,
sister.
That could be like you're playing a specific bugged version of Dwarf Fortress.
It's a Dwarf Fortress ROM hack.
Yeah, where that is inevitable.
Yeah.
And you can't get around it.
You need to marry everyone's sister as grandma.
Yeah, truly everything is random, but just somehow it always just
Right.
equalizes to grandma always marries everyone's sister.
Yeah, once there's a grandma, there's a sister, and then you get a population decline, as has been
Yeah.
warned about us as part of the gay agenda.
Mhm.
Obviously.
So
If you let this happen, next thing you know, grandmas are going to be marrying sisters.
that's
Yeah, everyone's sister.
Well, that is going to be the lightning round. I think we're going to have to give this episode to Frank for
Whoa.
some incredible work in that
Some great
lightning round.
acronyms.
That only happens when Jaffe doesn't host. He hates it.
Yes, the noted and widely understood rivalry between Frank and Jaffe.
Yeah, he really exercises his control as host. Gross.
I believe, Brandon, you have 5, Ash has 8, Frank, you have 6 now. Does anybody want to spend any credits? I assume
saving
not.
up because I'm saving up till I have time to do the homework I want to inflict on.
I don't want to spoil anything, but Ash has told me that she is going to be making everyone play a game and what that game is. So stay tuned next episode for more info on that. As it stands, does anybody have anything they'd like to recommend or even plug that they've worked on, perhaps?
Merritt, you got a plug. Let's go plug.
You got stuff.
Okay. So I am back on a regular podcast now. It's been 4 or 5 years, I think. I used to do this all the time. People may remember some of the shows I used to do in the 2010s. I am now a regular host of a show called If You're Driving, Close Your Eyes, which it's me and my ex-Fanbyte colleagues, Nikki Grayson and John Warren. And it is kind of just a fun mess around show. And we have a Patreon where we started doing weekly bonus episodes, which are usually terrible games that we inflict on each other. So nice. Just just constant psychic torment. Which is fun. People seem to like those. We started doing them about a month ago. And it's the main feed is free and you can just find that wherever you get shows. So yeah, check it out.
Also jumping in, I just want to say on Merritt's Patreon, check out the Grebo saga. Some really interesting stuff going on there. Very much enjoying that.
I've been doing this weird comic on my Patreon that's about a guy named Grebo. And
does a little dance.
He does a dance and things happen to him, and that's
life.
Yeah, that's life, baby.
I'm going to recommend an album. Mami Ayukawa's Smile album is good if you like rolling synthesizers, as some people do, like myself. And I guess I'm also I wasn't sure if I was going to 100% recommend this, but I guess I may as well. I finally bought an HDMI switch that mostly works. It's really hard if you have a lot of dumb HDMI things to find one that consistently functions. And this one does, but it unfortunately costs an incredible amount of money. It's like $250, $300.
Oh, jeez.
But it's for 16. I think the 8 is fewer. But the Tessmart HDMI switch, it's got like actual components in it. It's got a fan. It's like doing the real stuff, and everything that you plug into it works, and it auto switches to it if you turn it on, and it's easy and intuitive to use, and it has never crapped out. The only thing is that my friggin' Roku doesn't work with it. The Roku just like turns itself, it like flashes the screen off and on multiple times, and it's just the Roku only. Is it a Roku problem? Is it a problem with the Switch? I could not tell you, but I've got my PS5, PS3, Xbox 360, Wii U, Blu-ray
Keep
player,
going.
Switch. Everything else is plugged into that and working great. And you don't get the HDMI like overload thing so much. But I mostly got that with my Roku. It's clearly a Roku problem.
Got to get that Apple TV. No ads.
But you can't. But searching on the Apple TV sucks so bad.
Oh, I've never had a problem with searching on it. You talk about that like row of letters. You can switch that to be a grid.
I guess you can
change it.
I heard later you could switch it to be a grid, and so maybe I should have kept it. But too late now. It's gone. I threw it in the trash. No, I gave it to somebody.
Frank, anything?
I didn't look, but there was I believe a House vote today on defunding public media, and that sucks. So. I guess this is just a reminder to fund people whose creative work you enjoy. So I guess I'm just seconding Merritt's Patreon.
Perfect.
Yeah, and also I don't know, support people in Southern California that are protesting right now somehow or other.
If you're in New York, don't rank Cuomo.
Oh God, yeah. New York could have a good mayor.
Yeah,
that would be incredible.
We could realize the impossible dream of having a mayor who doesn't fucking suck.
Yeah, it's within your grasp.
It's
New York.
Possible. Better things are possible.
All y'all do it. Vote for the other guy.
And I'm going to take this opportunity to promote my other show that I work on with Alex Jaffe called DC Action News, which you've certainly heard about by now if you listen to this show.
That's the direct
really
current
funny
show.
Yes, that's the one that we do for, it's DCAN, so Direct Current Action Network, I assume.
Yeah. It must be.
Yeah, it just a really good thing. I got to edit a whole bunch of Godzilla sound effects the other day. Just love making that show. And I love making this show too, which you can support at patreon.com/insertcredit. You can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/insertcreditshow. Join our forums at forums.insertcredit.com. You can leave us a review on iTunes or Spotify. Supposedly that helps us somehow, other than just being a nice thing to do. I assume it moves us forward in some algorithm, but I've never once seen evidence of that.
Yeah, I don't know if it's
15
true.
years of working on podcasts.
Yeah. But Jaffe thinks so.
Jaffe thinks so it's in the episode. Check out Demon School. There's a great trailer out for it. Visit gamehistory.org. Check out Fledgling Manor, Merritt's podcasts, and Patreon as well. I edited this episode, Esper Quinn. This music is by Kurt Feldman. I'm Esper Quinn.
I'm Frank Cifaldi.
I'm Brandon Sheffield.
I'm Merritt K.
And your game has now been saved.
I keep wanting to show Jaffe that I got the bag for the old comic store that I used to go to.
Oh, nice.
Comics and Comics. And
oh, that looks like a 1989 to 1992.
Right.
Yeah.
And I found out that it was the first comic store chain in America.
Wow.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, starting in 1978. That's surprising. I'll have
It's
to
the
wait for
last
him to
one,
come
too.
back so you can see that. Yeah, well, no, it's gone.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's long gone.